Beautiful. So let's make up a GPA. That'd be a nice way to kind of round the day out. I don't have this in the PowerPoint. Wow. Goodness. Sorry. Let's make up a GPA. I want to hit this weighted mean idea really, really hard, because if you guys can walk out of here, there's a couple things I want you guys to walk out of this class with, like in the back pocket comfortably. And one of them is definitely a weighted mean. The other ones we haven't even gotten close to yet. The idea of variation, we'll get that on Monday. Wait, today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, Monday. The idea of a distribution, a probability distribution, we'll get to that on like week 7. But the idea of a weighted average is really important. So let's do another example of a weighted average. And again, the only time you deal with weighted averages is when your data has frequency counts. So that's what the weights are. When you have a second column, this is a superfluous third column. This is the actual distribution for the refused votes. The second column, this is your data, X. X is your data. The F's are the weights. As soon as you include that, it becomes a weighted average. And you have to include that, and you have to use it in the right place. So let's make up a GPA for somebody. First of all, let's make up a schedule for them. Let's make them take 4 classes. Okay. Statistics, of course. Right. Statistics, of course. What else?
Geology.
Geology, yes. I've heard time and time again that the happiest people. Geology. If that's a G.
For that, write 121.
Say that again?
Write 121.
Write it!
So you can spell geology?
So I can spell it? You watch it back there. That's because you got better hair than me. You watch it. And what else they take? Let's get in the 4th class.
Speech.
Total fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Total fit. HHP 185 TF. Fourth class, especially in the winter. All right. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal. How did we do in these classes?
Well.
Good. Let's put some. I like that. How we do in stat?
A.
Of course you did. How'd you do in geology? C minus.
It's hard.
That's for that comment. I'm kidding. I want to mix it up a little bit. How we do in writing?
B.
B. Good. How we doing in total fit?
B.
Good. Can we make it up, just to mix it up a little bit, a B plus. Just to mix it up a little bit. It's very hard to get anything but an A in total fit unless you don't show up. And that's the only time you pretty much lose grades, or if you whine a lot. Okay, so GPA. What would the student's GPA be?
Well, the A is 4.
Ah, okay, good. There is a code for the letters. This is an example of pseudo-qualitative data. It's pseudo-qualitative because A, B, C, and D cannot be averaged. But we kind of take care of that by giving them numerical values. So it's pseudo-qualitative, pseudo-quantitative. So let's put the little scale over here. Okay. An A is 4. A B is 3. C is 2. We don't have to write anything else. It continues to go like that. And then the pluses and minuses fill in the thirds. So an A minus is a 3.67. A B plus is a 3.33. A B minus would be a 2.67. C plus becomes a 2.33, and then a C minus, which I gave us in geology, right? That's a 1.67. And they go down by thirds. So a D plus would be a 1.3. Just make sure we can see that on the camera. Oh, we can. Good. All right. So technically speaking, we didn't get an A. We didn't get an A in stat. We got a 4. We didn't get a C minus in geology. We got a 1.67. We didn't get a B in writing. We got a 3. And we got a 3.33 in total fit. So what's our GPA? John?
3 point.
How'd you get it?
Added up those numbers and divided by 4.
Excellent. And I have no problem with that, except what? There's one small problem I have. And unfortunately, it's not a small problem. These classes have a credit load attached to them, which is supposed to be indicative of something. I'm not exactly sure what. I've never worked harder in my life for total fit's 1 credit. But it is a 1 credit class. So here is your data. John, you've got the data nailed. These, here's my green mark right there. This is your data. These are your X's. But But the X's are not weighted evenly on your GPA. They're not weighted evenly. You have to have the weights, which the frequency, we were calling it F's for frequency. We have to have those. I'm going to put that here as F, which I'm going to call it weights, which is also in this case credit, which is also what we've been calling F's. But they're all interchangeable as far as what they mean. So here's the deal. What's your weight in a stat class?
4.
It's 4. What's your weight in geology class?
4.
I think it is 4, yeah?
It
It's
is.
GS 104, yeah.
GS
4.
201.
Writing is also 4. And total fit is 1. Okay? You gotta watch that, because some classes are 2 credits, not very many anymore. Writing used to be 3, now it's 4. Some lab sciences are 5, speech is 3, and you work your butt off in that class, I bet, right? Okay? But that, my friends, is what we have to use to calculate our GPA. So let me grab a rag so I can stop freezing with my hand. There we go. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are. We are. There we go. That's where I read. I think we got it now. I think we got our GPA. Our GPA, let's throw some more arrows here, I don't know why I'm doing this. Grade point average, okay, is going to be 4 times 4. That gives us, I think these are called quality points. They used to be called quality points back in the day. Like you get 4 points in your class, and it's a 4-credit class, so you earn 16 quality points, I think. So you're going to sum the quality points up. Plus you've got 4 times the 1.67, wait, parentheses, plus the 3 times 4, plus the 3.33 times 1, yeah? And then we're going to divide by?
4.
Careful.
13.
13. Well, right, 13, because don't forget total fit, the hardest one credit you're going to have. You're going to think it was 5. John, what's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Oh, I was just thinking that it's okay.
No, what are you thinking? Go.
Well, the 1 is equivalent to the 3.33 already, so you have to add that in there as well.
You have to add it in because it carries a weight of 1 where these carry 4 times as much weight.
Right.
So there has to be indicated some. I see what you're saying. 1 times 333 is just 333.
Yeah.
But when you sum up that top numerator, which anybody sum that top numerator? What do we got?
3801.
38.01, thank you, friends. When you do 38.01 at the top, that's how many, if you will, quality points. That's how many stars refused got. That's how many keys we had as a group in class. That's how many lollipops we had in that experiment yesterday. You see what that
Right.
did?
So if you, yeah, well, I was just curious because if you add the numbers on the left, it comes out to 12. But if you add the weighted value, it comes out to 13. But that being that 3.33 is equal to the 1, it does it.
Wait, so you're saying if you add these numbers right here, you get exactly 12?
Yes.
Which okay, good. And this happens to exactly 13.
13, but the B plus is equal the same. The weight is equal because it's 3.33 and it's only weighted 1, so it's equivalent to being a 1.
I think I understand what's going on, John. And here's mathematically, if I may, why you can't do that.
Okay.
I'm going to put some symbols on the board. I noticed this is an algebra class, and I apologize. If anybody got algebra allergies, take a nap for a
Sorry,
minute. If you have ax plus by plus cz over a plus b plus c, what you're not allowed to do mathematically, you two, not allowed to do this, is that.
Well, if it's multiplied.
If the whole thing has a factor, yeah, Andre, yes. But because you have this addition going on, we can't ignore that addition, which takes precedence over the multiplication.
Sure.
There's implied parentheses around. I think that's what you're getting at, John.
Yeah, and then
So-
you multiply both sides by a plus b plus c.
But the problem is there's no side anywhere.
Right.
This is just an expression, not an equation. I think that's where we're breaking down, and that's okay. Your point is good. It's just we can't use it here.
So you divide by 13.
Exactly, friend. Exactly. Good, Andrea. Very nice. Catch your multiplication. Very good. So now we're going to divide by 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 1, which is the 13 credits. Good so far? So what do we end up getting?
2.92.
There you go, 2.92, which is very close to that 3 that John pointed out there. But you can't do it in the way we originally said by just dividing by 4 because of the ignoring of the weights, if you will, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, we've gotten lucky because now GradTrax does this for you. Or is it Banner? One of the two programs you guys have access to will do this for you. And plus it gives it to you every day anyway. But what's also cool about GradTrax, you can put in a desired GPA, and it'll tell you what GPAs you have to get in certain terms to get that desired GPA. And I thought that was slick, so one of your homework problems is going to be to figure out how that works. It's good. It's the kind of thing you should know. You should know how that works. You should know it's not magic. It's not, you know, if you've got 12 credits left, I know, unfortunately, it's pointing the wrong way. Don't worry. If those random samples of images from yesterday are an indication, there's plenty on here to get me in trouble. All right. So anyway, weighted averages are huge. They're huge. They're all over the place, from your GPA to your Amazon to your electrical bills. I mean, everything, almost everything in your lives is going to be a weighted average just by virtue of so much data comes to you in graphical form. And that's, as soon as the histogram comes at you, it's a weighted average. Because it isn't raw. It's not raw. If you have raw data, you add it up, divide by how many there are, but you very rarely get that. So I'd like to close today. We spent a lot of time talking about center, and I'm glad we did it. I think it's important, very important. I want to do a change on me there? Maybe I have to click. There we go. So, just a couple, I want you to be careful. If you look at the Bend Chamber of Commerce website, I was told a few things when I moved to Bend. I didn't move here because of these things. I think some people do them, so you be careful. Average annual snowfall in Bend, in the town of Bend, is 33.8 inches. 33.8 inches. This is true. At least based on the data I had up till the time, which is represented in the graph you see in front of you. In the graph you see right there. If you average out, what I did with this, I tried to be cute. I made a graph with snowflakes. I made a dot plot. Snowflakes. So I thought that was adorable. Thank you. So 0 through 10, this is the number of years where we had 0 through 10 inches, that many, 10 through 20 inches, 20 through 30, and so forth and so on. Notice, how would you describe that graph? How would you describe, if you had to use the words from today, bimodal, symmetric, how would you describe that, if you had to use words to describe it?
That's almost bimodal.
Yeah.
Almost bimodal, a little bit skewed, I like this. Almost bimodal, right here. Skewed, definitely skewed. The average is going to be pulled that way because of the tail. Good, I like this, good. Maybe not outliers, but definitely pulled to the right. Good, and that's why the average, the 33.8 is believable. Because your modes, as we heard over here, are here, and the average is a little bit to the right of that, which puts you kind of in this bar over here. Make sense? You guys buying that? Okay, good. Anybody have a problem with reporting that to the public? John?
It's total quantity. So
Give me more, give me more.
you could have an inch for 33 days.
Gotcha. How are they measuring the total snowfall? If you get an inch of snow each day for a month, there's 30 inches of snow. Or if you get a dump, you get it all in one day and then it's gone 2 days later because it's better the sun comes out. Good. I hadn't thought about that. That's good. Any other issues with using the average? That's very good. Just questioning the measurement. Where did they... Thank you. Where were the measurements taken? I live on the northeast side. It hardly snows. Case in point, riding home yesterday from work, I got doused riding down Aubrey Butte, crossed the bridge on Archie Briggs, popped up to the side, sun pops out. Because I'm on the northeast side, I'm in the banana belt again. Because it's always like 5 degrees warmer over there, and I can grow things in my garden all year long. Because I'm in the ghetto, and we're at 3,400 feet, as opposed to being at 3,800 feet up here. It's a microclimate. Bend is full of them. So where were these measurements taken? I have an answer for you later. We'll get back to that. I actually have the source of the data because I couldn't stand not knowing. And I became part of the data now. So anyway, good. Anything else? Any other concerns? No, that's okay. You might not have any right now. Maybe you're okay with that. I got a problem with saying that the average annual snowfall is almost a yard of snow. That's a yard of snow per year. Because I lived here 10 years now. I've lived here 10 years now. You guys now have the data I have. If you look on the back of that sheet I just gave you, we'll analyze this later in class. There's your year-by-year snowfall over about 100 years in Bend. Okay? There's your year-by-year snowfall. I moved here in 04, I think it was, so I'm like over here. All right? So if you compare it, there definitely are some years where we get a cumulative total of, say, 40 or 50 inches. But there's so much variance from year to year, I would probably go with more like the modes of the medians and ignore the average. The mode of the median would pull it down to a little more realistic 2 feet versus 3 feet. 2 feet, for some reason, doesn't seem as bad to me. Maybe it is, I don't know. So anyway, be aware. Be aware. When you've got that skewed data, cautious. Cautious. Here's another one. I'm sure you've heard this one. I'm sure you've been told. Same. This is from the same Chamber of Commerce website. Average is 370 days a year. So does Phoenix. So does Tucson. San Diego, yes, right? What are the towns boast this one? A few.
Denver.
Denver? I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, Denver. There's a few towns that boast 300 sunny days a year, and I always question where the hell they get it from. Where's that number come from? And I have no idea. This is the closest thing I have to data. Highest average numbers of sunny days in the state. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. That just tells me they've defined a term called sunny days, and we have the highest number of them. I don't know what that is. Clear days average 158 days per year. That seems like a little bit of a redundancy there. So we'll give them that. But the problem I have there is, what is a
Clear day.
clear day? Does that mean it's like today and then sucker hole opens up and the sun comes out? I doubt it. So we'll say clear day is a day where it's one of those splitter blue Central Oregon skies, have a sparkling day, Bob Shaw kind of day. With an additional 105 days that are mostly sunny. What does mostly sunny mean? What's the difference between mostly sunny and partly cloudy? Or mostly cloudy, partly sunny? I don't know what that is.
The icon on my phone.
On your phone, right?
The icon on my phone knows.
Oh, it does, but how is it defining it? I don't know. Atmospheric pressure, I don't know. Many of the remaining days. So what I did was, I think I got the 300. 158 plus 105 is like 260. Okay, 260, you got about 100 days left. Many of the remaining. Take about half of that, there's your 300. I guess. I don't know. I have no freaking idea where they get 300 from. But somehow from this data set collection, we get 370 days a year. And you can almost tell when Bendites have 2 or 3 days like this, they start getting grumpy.
Yeah,
You
totally.
notice that? Remember a couple weeks ago when it was raining for like a week straight? Looks like so pissed off. Speaking of people that are pissed off, identify this quote. And identify the incorrectness in it.
I love George Carlin.
I miss George Carlin daily. Would have been great in Senate.
Yeah.
I love his statement. It's not always true though. But I love the way he said it because he's a comedian, he's a genius with words. Think how stupid the average person is, realize half of them are stupider than that. Not necessarily, George. Which measure of center represents the halfway point? Always. Not the average necessarily, but always the median. That's your. But the median doesn't sound as good, does it? Think of the median stupid person. George, what is the median? No, everybody understands what an average is. I miss you, George. Miss you daily. So just be careful using these things. And we're going to learn as we go through the courses which ones to use and when. Madeline, please.
Well, but, I mean, isn't there a quote, an average person, if you're looking at IQ points, like 100 is normal, and that is average, and then, right?
That was set up to be defined that way. We're going to discuss that in this class. IQ is something I love ripping into in this class because of what it is, which is perfectly mathematical, and what it implies, which is a loaded gun pointed right back at us. Yeah, using IQ for anything is always dangerous because of the fact that it is set up to be, yes, 100 is average. Do you know why?
Because they want the average to be 100.
Why? What does IQ stand for? Intelligence
Quotient.
quotient. They've set it up so that if you divide your mental age by your chronological age, that's IQ. That's what the intelligence quotient is. And if your mental age and your chronological age match, dividing them equals 1 times 100 is 100. That's why it's 100. And we'll get into this in this class later on, and we'll actually analyze what it is. My problem is, what the hell is mental age? It's the result of your score on a test, of which I'm very good at because I'm good at math and problem solving and pattern finding, which that test is heavily weighted towards. Let's get into that more later if you don't mind. All right. For next time, go ahead and knock out the next homework set, which is measures of center, and bring questions on that for next time. Yeah. I'll get you guys a quiz uploaded in about an hour for next week. What else was I supposed to do with you guys?
5 points bonus.
5 points bonus.
We got an email that said we're.
Oh, right. Was anybody concerned